Welcome to History Stories Dose, one story 10 parts, subscribe now.
In 334 BC, a 22-year-old king stood looking across this exact stretch of water, the Hellespont. Behind him was the kingdom of Macedonia, and ahead lay the shores of Asia, the gateway to the massive Persian Empire. According to tradition, Alexander leapt from his ship onto the shore and drove his spear directly into the dirt. With this single act, he declared the entire continent a gift won by conquest. This map shows the scale of his ambition. Alexander brought 35,000 soldiers to challenge an empire that stretched across 3 continents, holding vastly superior wealth and armies that far outnumbered his own. His hope rested on a highly specialized military machine. He commanded elite cavalry and the Macedonian phalanx, infantry wielding long spears called sarissas, and relied on veteran generals who had served under this man, his father, King Philip II. To most observers, this was not a calculated campaign. Given the sheer size of the Persian defense, the invasion looked like a mission of madness. The Persian governors chose the Granicus River as their first defensive line. They gathered their cavalry and archers along the banks, prepared to halt the Macedonian advance before it could move inland. The river served as a natural fortress. The Persians planned to use the strong currents to stall the Macedonian crossing, leaving the soldiers exposed to a barrage of weapons from the high ground. Alexander's veteran generals recognized the danger. They advised caution, suggesting that attacking across a river against a prepared enemy was a risk they didn't need to take. They knew the stakes. The Granicus was a make-or-break moment where a single tactical error could destroy the campaign before it truly began. Alexander listened to the warnings, but he chose to ignore them. He ordered an immediate assault on the Persian lines without delay. His logic was driven by a visit he had made shortly after landing, a detour to these ancient stone walls at Troy. There, he honored the tomb of his childhood hero, the legendary warrior Achilles. He carried a copy of the Iliad given to him by his tutor, Aristotle. Alexander didn't just want to win a war. He wanted to achieve a level of greatness that surpassed the ancient myths. This drive for glory dictated his strategy. To Alexander, safety was secondary to the frontline leadership that would earn him a place among legends. The assault began in chaos. The Macedonian cavalry struggled against strong currents, taking heavy fire from Persian forces holding the high ground. Mounted on his horse Bucephalus, Alexander led from the front. He refused to ask his men to face any danger he would not face himself, riding directly into the thick of the fighting. The battle turned fierce and disorganized as Alexander pushed through the water. He soon found himself isolated and surrounded by elite Persian nobles. In the heat of the melee, a Persian commander aimed a weapon directly at Alexander's head. The king was seconds away from death. Before the blow could land, a companion named Clitus the Black rushed into the fight. He killed the attacker just in time, saving Alexander's life and preserving the future of the campaign. With their king still fighting, the Macedonian cavalry and phalanx eventually overpowered the Persian lines. What began as a desperate gamble ended as a decisive breakthrough. The victory shocked the ancient world. Cities across Asia Minor that had once served Persia began surrendering, often without resistance. Alexander's reputation grew overnight. Many Greek cities welcomed him as a liberator, opening their gates to the man who had defeated the local Persian governors. This map shows how he consolidated his gains. As he marched deeper into the continent, he reorganized local governments and treated conquered peoples with strategic respect. Within the army, skepticism vanished. Having watched Alexander shatter the Persian line, his soldiers believed nothing could stop him. Far to the east, King Darius III received news of the defeat. The Persian king realized that this young invader was an extraordinary enemy, who was now marching straight toward the heart of his empire. The Battle of the Granicus had changed the entire outlook of the war. It was the first step in a massive confrontation that would decide the absolute fate of 2 empires.